Good morning, my dear negotiators. I'm sorry, that happens when you're live. So today we reached a milestone, episode number 50 of our podcast. And stay tuned, I have a very special present for you to celebrate that milestone. But before we do that, let's quickly see what we'll cover today because we go on in our mini series on Cialdini's Weapons of Influence. And today we cover number 2, commitment and consistency. But before we do that, let's kick it off with the intro.
Are you looking to up your negotiation and procurement skills? You're in the right place. Welcome to Procurement Zen with your host, Phil Kowalski.
So, as I said before, you might want to stay tuned until the end because I have something to give to you and it is of quite great value. So, first of all, this is the second part of the series on Cialdini's Weapons of Influence. Yesterday we covered reciprocity, but today we're talking about commitment and consistency. So, generally spoken, we humans tend to behave consistent with previous statements we made. Ever saw a free trial for something? Consistency in high gear. Let's take this example right away a little bit further. So before you let your demand owners use a free trial of a software, for example, or something like that, ask them the following. What will make this trial a success? What constitutes a failure? Do we have objective criteria to measure if this software trial is really just trying out, or have we already committed ourselves and hence limited our negotiation options? Also, make sure whenever you receive something that is claimed to be free, what you have to invest, because you always have to invest something. Our colleagues' time and effort that give a tool a test run are also valuable and should consider an investment. Another non-business example for commitment and consistency is poker. Have you ever played a game of no limit Texas Hold'em? Then you probably know how hard it becomes to give up your cards once to fold, which means basically giving up your cards and the money you have already put in the pot once you have put a substantial amount of money in the pot. You want to stay consistent with your previous behavior. So how can we use this ourselves in our negotiators and procurement practice? Well, we can make the other party commit. Commit time, invite them to your office for locations so they invest in travel and accommodation. This is one of the reasons why I prefer to hold negotiations always in our offices. Besides the fact that it is basically our playground, our home ground, our home turf, they also want to be consistent with their already made expense and throw in more concessions to do so. So besides that, it also offers a great opportunity for applying reciprocity, which we talked about yesterday. So let me share a story with you that comes from Cialdini's chapter about this influencing tool so that we can also easily translate it to a neat negotiation tactic. So Cialdini talks about a gentleman who goes shopping for business suits, and he keeps the salespeople in the shop busy, lets them exactly measure sizes and everything, tries to engage quite a few people there. He uses then basically their time and effort commitment, and then at the very end he asks and says, okay, so how many ties are you going to throw in for free? And that is exactly the ask for: stay commitment, stay consistent with your previous actions. So you could do this by having your suppliers clarify all the tech details first. What material is your product made of? Can you provide a bill of materials and lead me through it? How does it connect to our machine XYZ? Once they have explained all these things in very much detail, start the commercial negotiations, not before. frequently mention that they, not you, have invested a lot of time already. But don't say something like, hey, you don't want this time wasted, do you? Skip that. Just say, well, just remind them how much they have invested so far. So they will want to be consistent with their previous investment, aka concessions. So another idea would be to research the other party's public statements about their company. So something like, our customer success is the driver for our business. You then can use this in sentences like, hey, as your supplier company Inc. is very customer focused, we as a customer would highly appreciate if you would honor our cash requirements by giving us the requested 90 days payment terms. So basically, short episode, this sums up this episode about consistency and commitment. But don't turn off yet. If you just look here below, you see on the screen, we want to celebrate our 50th episode because this is episode number 50. Yes, it is wonderful. And to celebrate this, I'm going to give away 3 copies, physical copies of Cialdini's Influence. All you have to do is to go to that address that you see here. It's also linked in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. The address is procurementzen.com/050. That's procurementzen.com/050 for episode number 50. Celebrate this, and you can win a copy. Only you just have to comment on that page, leave a thoughtful comment about what you like, or why you would like to have that book Influenced by Cialdini, and I will pick 3 winners by the end of the next week. So make sure to go to procurementzen.com/050 to have a chance to get one of 3 physical copies of Robert Cialdini's masterpiece, Influence. So that sums up today's episode. I'm very happy to have reached that milestone. And always happy negotiations. And see you tomorrow. Bye.